We're going to talk about Ethereum, but I want to start first with how you got here. You were born in Russia, you emigrated to Canada with your parents when you were just 6 years old, and is crypto the future, or is it a fad?
I think it's the future that contains fad.
Right now it is mostly finance apps that are built on Ethereum, aside from NFTs, and I'm wondering, what is the killer app for Ethereum that could lead to widespread adoption, much like email was for the internet?
I think there's a few candidates. DeFi is obviously one of them. I think the blockchain-based financial things have always been attractive because the traditional financial system just sucks more than traditional centralized tech, right? If I send an email to someone in Guatemala, then they're going to receive it in 1 second. With finance, you can't even say that. A lot of people and companies, even today, just to use cryptocurrency to send money internationally. Outside of finance, think one interesting area where I think blockchains might go. You notice that in order to access your assets in Ethereum, you need to have an account. We're getting to the point where there's a lot of work that's been done on making these accounts very secure. And so instead of just being accounts that hold money, these turn into fully blown profiles, right? And once you have profiles, then you can start doing decentralized social media on top of that. The social and financial things that you can do with that, even working together, is something that I think could be really big.
What is Ethereum and how is it different from Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin is a blockchain that's designed for one application, right? Which is maintaining and letting people use Bitcoin, the currency. Ethereum is a general purpose blockchain. So instead of being a blockchain that's designed for one application, Ethereum is a blockchain that supports a built-in programming language, and whatever blockchain application you want to build, you can just write the logic of that application in the programming language, upload that program to the chain, and this becomes what we call a smart contract. And anyone can then interact with your application, and the blockchain interprets the rules of your application for you. So instead of being something that's designed to do one thing, it's designed to open up space for creativity to basically let people do whatever thing that they want to do on top of it.
So is the idea then that the next Facebook or Twitter would not be owned by Jack Dorsey or Mark Zuckerberg, but be built on the blockchain and owned by everyone?
There are multiple projects already trying to do that, and lots of them are based on Ethereum, so yes.
So then is Ethereum a threat to established centralized companies and social networks like Facebook, like Twitter, like Google?
I think it can be a threat, but it can also be an opportunity. I think even Jack Dorsey himself, right, he has this project called Blue Sky, which is trying to figure out how Twitter can kind of incorporate decentralized elements. And I think a lot of these projects want to actually do this, right? Because I think a lot of them are realizing that being a kind of centralized focus of power and having control and of so much of everyone's data and all of these things, it's not just an asset, it can also be a liability as well.
Now, we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, whether that's even a single person or a group of people. What is it like to be a known and visible figure behind such a popular technology?
I mean, there's definitely times when I want to be less visible, but I guess that comes with the territory.
Why do you want to be less visible? I mean, one of the other Ethereum co-founders, Anthony DeLorean, recently announced he's quitting crypto because of safety concerns. I mean, is that part of your concern as well?
I mean, it's not so much physical safety per se as just wanting the ability to also, have a life and not just have random people running up and saying, "Are you the Vitalik Buterin?" I don't know. There's definitely times when I find such things annoying, and so I don't know. I'm likely to keep wearing my mask in lots of places, and that has nothing to do with COVID.
Now, whether Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the blockchain really are changing the world seems to be an ongoing debate. Is crypto the future, or is it a fad?
I think it's the future that contains fads, much like the internet was the future and the internet contained fads. There's definitely specific kinds of applications that do get overhyped from time to time, like ICOs back in 2017, and then certain kinds of DeFi right now. But at the same time, there's other DeFi projects that really are valuable. There's a combination of both, right? And figuring out which is maybe it's something that's difficult to see ahead of time, and it's something that we as an ecosystem are going to find out.
So the crypto skeptics, many people that are admired in the financial world, Jamie Dimon, Warren Buffett, are they just wrong?
A lot of them have definitely been just wrong already, right? They expected even back in 2013 to 15, at least some of them, to see blockchains and cryptocurrency fail and go down to zero in price and just not get any more interest completely. And even today, they've already been far more successful than any of them expected. So I can see how people in traditional finance, or at least some of them, can be inclined to kind of not see the value of blockchain-based finance immediately. There's a lot of people, even in traditional banks, that see the value that blockchains provide and have been trying to come up with things and work with them.
So Ethereum in 5 years and 10 years, where is it?
Hopefully running the metaverse, but I guess we'll see how it goes.
You've got a lot of people out there, a lot of people who are trying to understand cryptocurrency, who are placing their bets. What's your prediction for Bitcoin? Does it replace the dollar? Does it exist in 50 years, or is it something else? And then similarly, what's your prediction for Ethereum? Because a lot of investors are choosing to hold both, or one or the other.
I think replacing the dollar completely is unlikely, just because there's things that the dollar provides, like price stability, for example, that Bitcoin is not going to provide. I think even in a theoretical world where the US dollar collapses, even then, I think Bitcoin is not going to be able to provide the level of stability that users and businesses expect to be able to set prices in. And in that kind of world, we would need something else. It could be decentralized stable coins, it could be something else, but we'll see. But at the same time, I think cryptocurrency can still have a very powerful and important role alongside existing currencies.